delegation, or better TV, or better fridge, or better ntoma, better mpaboamabo. But the general elections, sir, you will suffer. A crash of Ghana crash from rubber for me, Sikaria, Chronobo, Apo, Opinia Codrono, Opinia Wadeno, to be bold enough to be talking like how Obiri Boahen talking. Mahama is a legal entity. But you know, Niama Abanina, Nikasa Banina, President Mahama and this for Namasansim Winina, Abba.
Emfa edanse sonko emfiri mega TV asoye emfambra obibia hanom eye number 1 authentic platform na unim endra ablekuma eye north constituency what you say endra ena abatwo no eba so na in fact MPP 40 omu widim enkanka eni Hawa Koomson otini widim ankasa I was for na no Obiri Boahen ababonti di sembi abetuga na utia we say MPP no sisi no senke Obiri Boahen na nkasa sisi we decide say no kwaribu ho no mo beka ebi so ho no mo de propaganda be form obeni den because onye den ye the party we be deputy general secretary pen 20 mi emfa party no ento form ntia no enye party ni fin enye den a kakra bi ho no ma obe defend yomo yentie na no Obiri Boahen bra okupiem ewo wontumi TV oni oheneba siedo twetwe enkomo na mesto say bra conversation koso document betum na like na subscribe to the channel na busiafo me the link bi atum all sports GHTV say open sports ba sports presenter ba akope na American farmer all sports GHTV ko na ko subscribe enche kra no oye wo map do the sports mu de ebeba be pim na wonso otime nye bi atie yenkone nkoti nsene ko bebeto
kene even though I'm a mechanic, but I need to be fair and honest. Why? I didn't be brave. A Christopher Nagin say, Senya Christo Nkwan, Christo Sombia, Sombia. I want Clabophobia Agin say, Senya Cremo Somquandia, Sombia. But I beg to differ. Religion, I fit to the root. And therefore, so obey National Thanksgiving Day. No one man opportunity for Rastafarians. For me, Obiri Boahen, what? Opportunity for Rastafarians. 2. And your Rastafarians. Oh, yeah, National Thanksgiving Day no Accra. And when you consider the history of the Gansa, whether you are dealing with the Nungwa, the Teshi, the Osu, the La, and the Tema people, Wolomo plays a very, very important role. Under no circumstances can you talk in history of the settlement of the Nungwa, Teshi, Osu, La, and the Toma is the Tema people without giving recognition to Wolomo. Then you don't know, you are not a historian. You are not a good historian. And therefore, obey National Thanksgiving Day. Man restrict to a Christopher Nkrebu from Kwan. Traditional, I mean, you see the proper word, traditional African religion. Do you understand? Then it means you have given, so what by a National Thanksgiving Day one kind? So we are Osua. So without the Wulomo coming to pour libation, it doesn't make sense. We are like preaching. You can hours, Wulomo. So there can be segregations. Say they are from 7 a.m. Wulomo Meguninsa. Wulomo 9 to 12. Wulomo traditional worshippers. Nogopo, Kwakufri, Apape, Kokubrunsam, 7 to 9. You know, I think that we should do as some may be man economy. Sometimes I am a miracle. The Mamoto, I catch you for also moms on my Christopher. My oh, please, they should stop that. 101 point. So say they should stop that. What the man call? Oh, can be that. Oh, I can be second Christopher mine. Can be that. Because I respect a man for religion. Oh, Tibin can't tell me so can be for Kuapin from who say, and then a Kuapin from a settlement, no, Edimu Cassia. The Kuapin should not give recognition to Akonedi. can't tell me that. Now, Kashami Nintum. Oh, to be Mamma can't tell me, sir. Ebia Nkranza for Zedia Becca, Chinamine. And how can you tell people of Tachimani or may want to say a Botrua or a Shotan or Nyashi?
A Botrua.
Botrua.
Tachimano.
Botrua. Tachiman Botrua. It was established, it was found out around 1230. Yeah, Botrua. 1230. One of the powerful shrines. 1230. So Makara said,
we can't be no minor. Yeah, just you are bedroom.
Exactly.
And so if you are doing a Thanksgiving, it should involve all.
We are President Mahama, Opa, would you call more Christophodian, the Concramofodian, but no room for other religions. I mean, honestly, I am very hurt. Yes. It means that we don't give, no, we have bias.
Now, Christian Indians and we must have been confirmed.
Me a Christian, but me a knowledgeable person. So I respect
the other.
Exactly. Baha'i is there. Buddhism is there. Confucianism is there. Shintoism is there. Traditional African religion. No, please. That is wrong. No, in water region, especially when you go to the Evers, when the Evers are praying or the Quran, not the soap, not the no page. It is the recognition of the fact that the Evers believe they moved from Egypt to Sudan, no Asian Ghana, no Baham. So anytime they accept, they say the Ra, Asian sun god Ra. Until Evers in the first thing.
Then he lifted that up.
Exactly.
Egypt,
Sudan,
migration here. Egypt, Sudan.
Even it was Iraq. Egypt. Yeah, Iraq. Egypt.
The Evers.
The Evers.
Our Ghana no. The migration route near Iraq, Egypt, Sudan
to Asian Ghana. Back to Nigeria.
And some of
Mobasa. Even they came to Togo. I go calling and I so once again, remember chieftaincy. You may be a royal, but if you are descendant of Agokolia, ever see them for Kodanuma Uni. So you should respect that. You think say obedience or no go po, obedience or chinaman, obedience or wapape, obedience or banya, obedience or bedru. It's somebody's religious belief. Obisha be Rastafarian. What is? There's nothing wrong. And don't associate the man say, or a Rastafarian, and now or a banner Rastafarian. That is wrong. Because Rastafarian bakunu and just Rastafarian singing benum wi. Even you were another religion, Master Dashan. Master that Rastafarians, Master Dashan, Master Ajab, Confucianism, Buddhism, Baha'i, Madabaso 1 hour, Musumuma Fawi. Then you name it traditional African religion, Musumuma for say. It is what the Tapabani Babaho or the Dio, Maba 1 hour.
Okay, may I say 39 after 7.
So that is the point I was making about then the cathedral itself. The point out because the President Mahama once again me no nyagen.
Also about converting to National Cultural Convention Center.
A huge disappointment for me. Why? Nana Kufrado started so your cathedral. And your cathedral per se no na me opposition. But my opposition was that in fact taxpayers' money. Ana ne ko fiaje man doma DC no obiri Boahen dio so nyame ongbasere. No, but the point I was making say you don't use taxpayers' money. So
it wasn't the edifice cathedral and now we're against.
No.
But the funding. Okay.
I've never been against. Now Roman against cathedral.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's so cool.
When was the last time I called?
Oh, last time I called in chair, but
how many years?
Oh, 2025 years.
baako. Before so 2025 now call debate.
Tumwa be 7 years.
It Roman for that so who say who say we o ma sorry ba.
And I know me call no domase.
To akọ baako e say be dey be 7 years and was akọ bi.
Ko say the be see atu agum so na makọ. Say nyana na sabu ko cathedral.
Ogolo mo tu ma no ogun so.
Ananda watena ho sa da bi otena fidie so Roman. So wo ma. Cathedral dem ko be mfie duni. Nti you say the mention of a cathedral. That is the don't use taxpayers' money. The problem we have in Africa is
because already otie de okan na e di keke no mo sesa no.
Nomenclature.
E di keke.
Nomenclature. E di keke.
Because I realized that after is it a chieftains and religious minister no Ebeka say umu politicize National Cathedral no too much and they regret it.
Min kasabi kura. Min kasabi. No, because you see it's a nomenclature.
I won't come when gonna leave you.
Oh, me gonna ni be nembe za me chense. A man for no air politicization. Na ni basis. But me dia ne na me basis ni say men fa taxpayers money. Because you know we are told and in France even if you go to Israel now most of the baby na ya wo dwon wo ha na yesu bo asu wo ha no private companies are running those institutions. Private companies, some of them are Canadian companies, some of them Irish companies. So please the lesson is yesu yan say memfa taxpayers money emfanye. But you know, typical African politicians, omo pesika di, omo pesika wia, omo pesika bokro no, oko ka hono no ba na me kontokwa da bia no. Because enya who pay wia. And then now the taxpayers money. Allow a private company to run that venture. So you cannot cry my home National Theatre, John Rollins CCC way. It's a very good project, but in a white elephant project.
Yeah.
But you can leaders in Nigeria didn't come with my private company. Now private company on one running every Saturday. Years back, now then Saturday be as Afrikiko. But no my ye be Krako. Years back in the cultural center. But you know, Abano Yano.
You need 24.
I catch you for them paying for baby continue. Maintenance and Koso. Because how do you have the retro park Kumaseha? From my private.
You say the money I'm private or managing.
Private, you never under private. No, but you know we should be very candid and then be very transparent.
Now when you must back there was a beautiful fountain for years, a year or two, not a year juma. And somebody be my private own. Private man ne buy na omuntimi operate ne say remote omde operate fountain aya. Tibesine remote bi enya bio to fountain nya adwuma bio.
So I must say me kasabe. Some African intellectuals and politicians but they nhwamo. Me ni twe me nyadwa. Me nkasa ya ndisi for. Me nkasa ya.
And all this there was a forensic audit. Yeah, the report ne buy no. Ye ba power 8 years. O says be o sampan yo mum kwotena kemi obi anka ho asem. So and some of the assembly members were even telling us say we mo dey forensic report no be says be address no. We mo pe copy no, o mo koya na 2 pages ni be free.
No, Africa you be catchy sir because you know we have few honest people. Kakana biti sami. Africa kura de same Lewin kan. Minyini so benya biti sami. So the Lewin can say the whole Ghana, but we are sure say I will take the custom cry the whole Africa. No, I remember one more project to be one kind. One from the Independence Square no. One say kwa Kwame Nkrumah Mazalini no one. One so what complex court complex or no man. We say but in chance a project like this. Na Ghana bany na eye. Abba. But from people in DC, some of the politicians, you have disappointed Ghanaians because of Marco Barcelona. So Barcelona pa bichi no pa send yesi tie no. Now can I what is my private company? And the MPP na started a for pencil. One yet Professor Mose by John Mahama by Nana Kufuor by still not the project in here.
Dr. Bamia suggested some of these things in the manifesto. No, say road Kumasi Accra Highway, Kwarenke, they are private person. Now why yeah? The bus is schools are or the over privatizing. Then they lease it back to government. Yeah, you got to cars, no. I buy convoy tin network so 2 years near ocean near there. They know or my private agency. Now I buy a rent it. Dr. Bamia,
so on no a visionary.
Oh, Ghana
for but no,
I know
system no. System with due respect. I am so corrupt to say. So banana system no nipa no who say ube chia bibia.
And quite of us we did the Uber Sina.
But because how says Ghana bind this kakoye for the market. That makes sense. Opa sika fopa wa Ghana hanyina bebre wo Kumasi ha. Me amada for kwame despite no for this upon. Danya wo masisi the stores. Madam for Kesben. Adaya wo masisi the stores. So why don't you enter in agreement more for this upon Kesben and I say won to minum obia businessman. Abuaje
contractor Emmanuel Abuaje.
Sir, I have another friend SDN near friend Osuansa. So Nima.
Oh, the company card is it good print or
Madam for no
say onona omo ede ratupa kamana o managing
Osuansa.
Yeah.
Very quiet.
I want to run about go for station. Western Pharmacy.
Osuansa.
That mini supermarket no mine no. I bantama Otra
very good
Silver Crest winner.
Madam for
yeah, it's an advantage. No trade book.
Or printing books is very quiet. Open. Also answer kasa. Kasa. So be me bossy wa brabom say no. Also answer sa.
Comparing the gold printers.
You cannot tell me sir. Or for the crop market no. What the more also answer.
And a very generous man. I mean,
also answer is very generous.
Very generous man.
What is happening in this country? One area moving back as a sani because you call Jofort also was to done a pem kwaunino a pem 1,000 in Accra. 1,000 wa a pem store done kono sa a pem also Jofort. So the ben dying pan a pamper so see a malata marketo a he marketo a he marketa a Jofort on Timisi. But the system is so corrupt. The system is so tainted. Because I saw the command also answer and I come despite and I wound to me and answer Casmia. Penino dear Nimunion trouble. Ah, dear call an answer you buy. And yet this is a substitutional. Yet me a man for the ghost names as she says baby baby. What are we drafting? Obatranka, Obiri Boahen no be Kaza do Ndinimba Manuposi. The higher better. I mean, is there any sense, any logic?
From the national Thanksgiving and the national Cathedral, I say I saw the seminar, you know, Ghana's abstention.
Oh, why is that again?
UN Human Rights Council.
NDC Subambipa. Then I ask myself, say, Inti, Meson Diana.
So, why did you expect something different? A change NDC led by John Mahama?
At least this money when you are there. But to abandon NDC aba. Don't say my back any name be. Because I'm better not him as LGBT no dear. But want to be no tom, want to be any channel tom. And Miss Ebaso, now your sister no correct chili. Bama for Bama, Bam for Bar, a chili. Matana come out of and I was in full support of St. George. And I don't hear people like St. George.
Now, no, because I was also say, I don't know what John was on.
Roma so for me. At the Chamber, maybe some. I am extremely worried. Samana St. George, no could get to a black one. About what? In fact, intellectual dishonesty power we are so person who come to a bibrim. Come to a bibrim. No wonder. Sakwasibro Niba and open quaton onyan for in Africa. Because even 2024, 2025, now you catch a phone in the F4 bin Kasashaha, Sani person Shahadia. So imagine young ananama, some Cafecho, when she could never snap a breno. No snap that, and as a Bama. And then they see as a party, I come here to about LGBTQ, was abstained. And Okujato wanted to explain. Okujato was explaining Uncle Sishe. Please, you people are disappointing.
You don't subscribe to the explanation he gave.
Unkawanka Krankeye. Unkawanka Krankeye. The Okujatos and the sub-judges and some of these issues and President Mahama, they have been a huge disappointment to Ghanaians and to the level-minded Africans. Ultimate abstaining. Samento. And these were the people. Nakufado sign, Nakufado sign, Nakufado Pegasam, Nakufado. Okay, say we bill we once and now. The dear to a let it be said.
Yeah.
And the cow be crack and a man people here. Because they use it and campaigned against the MPP. And now by St. George was all over the place. And now this is Okasa. Because I know quite Land Cruisers will be doing. I'm extremely worried. In fact, the coming of the African politicians about ye. Because I we are by and the near say a beer of South Asia. Edenya, Mquania, Tano Sabinum. But all of a sudden, President Mahama etimako jinaho. Ako can say Obedanino from Cathedral to this. Just a nomenclature. Because even Baba ye Cathedral no crown. On the same na Cathedral antino. Send you musi designing or money bebrino. We know one had the same thing on be.
Yeah.
But is it fair? President Mahama bet my shots like from. And I say in his quiet moment, I say, and can we not cry and cry the baby museum? No. Where are we drifting? So, what I want to say? Galamsey is still going on. I sat here and said, Galamsey is some more canoe. When you are small, I'm with your man named Mayani Bebriu. Because your baba, your mind in England, and obey your Galamsey. Because I've been more licenses. Now, so can you newspaper say 2025 Bama binum licenses, to a forest reserve.
Forest reserves.
2025.
And I saw say it's supposed for Akwache a Miaminia a Kodio Prepara Small Scale Miners Association chairman. Our yet known NDC say on a Chinese be a year more foresting. And then there was a promise of repealing the airline that mandates mining in our forest reserves. Yeah, by I see a bear amendment. Amendment no crowd you know the
aqua. Mama Tina can be said. MPP free, so long law firm. Because you're showing in a few quiet. And so long now, and Nipa be quiet man, quiet. Nipa no quiet, no young from you. What I say? Because I'm not commissioner, man. And it's backed by law, LI 2462. The MPP for pension, because I did a fool. I'm a baba, a mine and no baby, Kurano, but my baby shouldn't be you. Madame, you're Jina. And I'm a Sanso say, media mine, no, mention MPP and DC. Mine, no, yeah, because what as I say in I say, Udia brain ye, Udia cocoa and ye. Yet to a good year show of them, and it's a forest may off reserve. Nay, ye too, ne krom ho mema ne maye nya adwuma me se ne ko wasa kropon ko madam fu bia wa ya invite me abroso invite me be me je me ko legal vacation fa dia so fa yam free kwa si wasa kropon ko si nipa wo mo ye engage in mining no ye pepe. So do we have to say yanki chibe nyina sa? But just make sure say wo mo benya krata. So MPP time I say media actual banning of mining no mentias here because manipa bebre adwuma ye. Baba beka setiam and this focus say na mining na kufado ni binuma ko sansuo wo baabi ne be de akere. I'm saying that mining is still going on. And that I'm authoritatively informed, say, 2025, based on the existence of LI 2462, no, a binumo LI 2462, a binumo any permit to go into the forest. Near Koyana nearby. Na campaign animal, crucify Kufrado, crucify MPP for no. Now he found. Have we been fair to ourselves? So that is the dilemma. Near Yanamunio. San no kuraka dia bibrem hade yetime tenase obati yes institution we ghost names na me dem say gumbu say awurade nyankopon ghost names say ndere bia be 10,000 na MPP for na mane maya binim titifia be pa adwuma ye out of frustration ti be joy MPP nanti mo amudi ye didi ni she mo ye go names no na mo de sa positions no opportunities ma MPP from man mema nka ye body and somebody wants to be rich overnight it goes names ni ya kwa sharia kwa kuni ya kuya oh panyere we ya va dia nna kofi fo ye be di first na so fa yire no preach ya and why adentina ya boa bone and they think that bone no nko ani say nya wanu wi bone nko ani say nya wakọ ya baby ayie onim ya baby minim no but we share social media buy no wu na ya baby ayie hey shama ya pa address mpa na dasora mete baba gere ni say bone nko ani so be ko ya baby ayie but nenya ho na ebone no enya ho na ebone no enya ni onum wi no enya ni onum apetese no enya ni onum jot no but ebinim ye bibi ediwiase wu edidi pawu ghost names but the employment obi nya adwumanye bo from PPNDC muntie me preaching no me mu aduru cha nyamasafo no preaching no masafo no dia collection ne tight nti sabe enya so nyina so ba na so obisa na nia meka na wo munu no any abstention na abstain President Mahama has this point no wonder and out here voter region yasin nadmo akobia ko bubu
ya wa loko
no, you cannot say it's a hallmark of indiscipline. For me, I will not say so.
1D, 1F.
Maybe last one. Catch your lock ni. Wanya de. But so transit urana this didn't go free zone board. Oko ka say. Mo ka say mu ye chobo ya. Na mo kwa
Mary Awusi.
Ai. Na awuraya da aka sem we da so onti sabi me ka say zambi before nyanyen ambi before the bia mo men nyame ase sabi pipi nya kra mpa enka sa ka sa sen awura kan yi kan pipi pa penso tie ka me gidi say by the close of the day enka ba yi no firi ho but awura na tima yi ne sen adia sa
nya no kra no wo ka kire omu
no kra de na sa nya no kra bia so we yampoadie enya na kureka ayampoadie aza batese ayi bofokrom ndc bibi wo Sinyando was a man on school feeding. No about social media or the bodia.
Friday, Shaka Zobanya, Mary will see where I think I'm a pusher Mazasiana, Tamo more appointee that Rosemont. No, I almost so buy and chain. No,
Dr. Baumia office. No, but in politics, you can have all these things because you are dealing with human beings. What you are talking about? About me, I say, be clear. When they come and say, I run over Baumia office. Now, send this appointing. What is wrong about that? What is wrong about that? Because someone named Moa or Boa woman. What you say? Any businessmen, 9 people for quite or more 2,000, and this is quite more money 2,000. What you say? Auntie, it happened. As I know, MPP superpower, and this is from my pamper being that home, it doesn't change anything. Because the system, no, never been tea. I never win tea. Want me and you be overnight. Ain't even possible. But say I rush one over. Me blame MPP for na me blame Dr. Baumia say. No, because Ebiana or Honu in Accra. Now she was spying for the NDC. There's all the school graduate but that Baumia was also na abuana mana school now abaye so say anya e NDC fanwa. There's nothing wrong. He's a human being. But you know, one kasa saying say, oh munya we na muka say chobo no amoya.
Chini chobo inkwa.
Anye chobo inkwa. Oh, we are Brony Becca, we are offending the sensibilities and the sentimentalities of the NDC activists. What the best at them? But me kwa mimi amano. What I say? But the ambassador, yehunu no. Scratch no kotumo nadmuno. Wanya dear. But you know, that is the way they go on with this in Africa.
So what's any bo? And what juma?
No question what juma.
And I said that one am I?
Oh, motion boss say buy the nadmu bama.
Or say other district, no. Consuls organizers in and take over. As not more directors. Into one tears or non quano consuls and as a district, no, or no, they won't pursue the mano.
No, I can't say about yes, so Mona was a year non say bia ebia yenimu ne certificate ne qualification ebia yenimu because na person be no ko ba before. But that is politics for you. I can tell you say and this ban anwa da mfie awura na ba.
Manipa yenyi na ye chobo bebi mu chobo ne bi die hu whisky manipa sa kola we say enyoma wo ye me say bebi mu chobo ne bi die hu whisky manipa
MPP nya problem bi won kentampo jeto aba in 2016 year about 2017 there was a Konkoma boy who contested on the ticket of MPP, Chasakamba. And for the first time since 1992, Charles Renetimi close to gap no pa. Charles ne close to gap no pa. And the close to bedroom best 2,000 or 3,000. When you might have some, the MPP party didn't appoint him as the DC. Or more appointing Pafufrubi. So nipa na appointing no MC no ono na as MC no nso timi na resources enti by 2020 no wo mo call primary no all resources enti delegate system na uti before abemfa no otwa chas ko 2020 and 2024 2020 NDC buy mu pa 2024 crowd the call na the ben no you very good amount for penasem so na current ma an close gap no et say
the guy
that chance so I mean sabi ka frecho sabi common sense say since 1992 Chasakamba na abadia na MPP member 2017 I don't know when Chasakamba the MC and look at the geopolitics in Kintampo who Wangarafo who Mo who Nkranza who Dagati who Fulani you know NDC constituency chairman from Kintampo Dagati ni Gatini. And most of the constituency executives in Yano, and young grandson for. And they are more position to get and to the ability and can tampon North and can tamp South. For the MPP, so be just sitting a free and this in term. The Omije Bako, Nessan Ko, and MPP was coming. What about these are the dynamics on the ground. And your baby beyond MPP, Modi, honey. Where dynamics in Libya? What Raman can so ha? Now walk wachi, kodu poku krom du Jamanoma. Among for be brother from non accounts be brother from. And those who call delegation. Obino di kwa ko to delegation or better TV or better fridge or better to or better pabuamabo. But the general elections you suffer.
Well, young kwai na yankoshe 1D 1F.
Why is that gave me disappointment in the NDC?
And I know pe disappointment disappointment ni be wuramu sa. Any issue you are disappointed?
Yeah, because you see, me no me no asabi.
Yes, I say my disappointment.
You too Canada no. Utim said the private sector no. Ena a
movie.
Whether Canada,
yeah.
Whether America, whether USA, whether Germany, whether it is the private sector. And Ghana suffer when Dr. Nkrumah started with his policies, na state policy, state housing, state agric, food distribution company, state way. Because state way ninan mpanyfo na ba na be di sika no ba be. So if you look at the 1966 the Apollo Commission's report very well, utimu say enya advisable say state no ebe interfere with enyaman bebre except baby kura to say the electricity, water and that. But anokura mponu. So from 1966 report na ban say my neighbor from here na kadema private participation. And kadia de na it because I na baller kura yes sakura no ya dey ma private companies. Ti afidani bebre ya dey ma private companies. So you cannot tell me say electricity, say water private entity. Now MPP for the ban na brilliant here. Mama typical example. Baby I mean who kura me whom you needn't osunyane. And now because you don't benefit 1D 1F no. And now you don't yagale no was silly. No the ko Nigeria.
Packaging come.
Packaging you don't think articulated there 10.
Wow.
Me ka bibiana. Uko sunyanya. Akachi for me bebre no ka identa. But bebre no ka chance o CMTC.
Okay.
CMTC channel better factory bi wo ho abaka say better factory bi wo ho onim say dey then. But those of us who can read and write we share how successful are within Yident across because of 1D 1F central region ayibia na wo mo ye nom no drink no
yeah juice confuse.
You live in Ghana. Cocoa processing companies heavily indebted. Extremely indebted. I've once been a board chairman. Me when you crown me clamosa. Na mountain company. Cocoa processing company, as you are talking now, is heavily indebted. If you are serious as a country, negotiate. Let private company no producing cocoa, chocolate, But you have a country. Cocoa board the cocoa no akotombe the cocoa board the car. Ghana catch for the most would do for the a catch for cocoa so better cotton. But you call Kajetia, my maybe I told you Sokodia for more than 20 years.
Or more car. Or the Hannibal University.
Or the Hannibal University. What I say? Oko Dumasi Joma. Mamina told Mpunam. Oko Sunyania. Mamina told Kobi Sawakofani Yejisa since the 1980s. wa fa ko bi ni sa atona betona tona sifia hwe ne ba university o moka koko abatona MPP tama wa boka NDC tama wa boka binya kukodron kan chere be say yentimi we cannot accommodate and tolerate sabe this nonsense. You know, so Kokobot and Kesa by now, no, it should be in the private hands. PBC, call your PBC in the crime shagu. PBC call your M shagu. Yeah, they are two stock exchange. PBC, yeah, creative, yeah. PBC, I don't know if I be bringing in a cooperative for Adani. So, if you are talking about a 24-hour economy, the first thing I say about him say, as a private sector, no, yes, a man cosro. Now, I my private sector na cosro no. I one district, one factory. I one district, one factory. Now, what you mean? I could say yechum. Abba, but 4 billion na Guzitano say open for one said 24 economy no. With due respect, does it make sense?
I don't make sense.
Now you're looking for 4 billion to run the secretariat, the staff, and other initiatives of the same a 24-hour economy. Does it make sense? Operation making sense. You don't know all your factory now, you know, or your Juma 24 hours because demand no de ko Nigeria no, demand no de ko Togo ni Benin no, be here nti mfidie ni sisi so ka ni binu maponko. So when you're talking about 24-hour economy, sometimes the mission sacrifice for ni binu ura for me say na when beti no huo wo man na huo wo beti huo. How do you talk of 24-hour economy? When I say madam for our Belgium watching about or mako bonu tuo mpasetia. Filling station do ho. How do you run 24-hour economy in such a situation? Untimi. But I wish I saw some year can war I want to run about it. Ubetima run it because it will chrome. You can run it. And to what do you do my crown? Who 24-hour economy na? Who say what in your own now 24-hour economy are operational. The system no never 24-hour economy no are operational. It is the system. And to put your blueprint a crash of Ghana crash from about for members she can rear chronobo a po. Now Ethiopian ideas. Ethiopian 24-hour economy, the t-shirt and about printed. Oh, and send this son to the Marians. Because the system ni ya. And you want to have a 24-hour would free the same. When chi na be so called new longula. Udru when chi station a wa kwan. A hamle kwan. When chi station and I don't go crowd be drone bi better on panel. A 24-hour economy because demand no enaye ukota chiman town nipa no bebre na ewo station ho yeah because the chiman no so free wow so free tamalo obesi wa binuma fa ka kosunyane nya wo na abaka say yenye 24-hour economy system ya 24-hour economy they cannot operate 24-hour economy wanchi ya wo da dwom ho. You cannot operate 24-hour economy with Sunyane, Ukwera Jumho. Because it's common sense. Ukwera Jumho, Abanon son on Chikura, Babeko basic Rabaja Wafa. Nagrana, a catch of Sika, dear Sika, we are Chronobo, 24-hour economy. So, what my Chamunu, the engine of growth, a private sector, a barrier. So, we are dying a man at Yakonin. Electricity company the car, Cocoa Board at the car, PBC at the car. But is that how to run a country? I'm both from PP and NDC now, Opian Kukodrono, Opian Wadeno, to be bold enough to be talking like how Obiri Boahen I'm talking. To be talking like how I make us say. why 24-hour economy biara baby ho no ma twa o ka say we 24-hour economy a obetimi aye because keko akra ko a VIP station ho no ma 24-hour economy obetimi aye ho 24-hour economy obetimi boy achima boaje hoyi 2M Express 24-hour economy obetimi aye. They cannot run 24-hour economy in Doma Hinkro. You cannot run 24-hour economy in Sampa.
Are they?
Because of Ebonon Shannon Son. Look, you cannot. Go so you cannot. Maybe come to my swim to me. Got 24-hour economy now. I will run in Domason. No, I cannot be a coda. What you who crap a warrior could Uslos Am Robes. So it's the situation, the environment, and the system. Now the urbaners are a man from my young Kasa and Chiremu and stakeholders and Pagani. Now Guzitano Kojina I must say, eventually more 24-hour economy. Meanwhile, electricity of company the car now Banama subvention. Ghana water company the car Abanama subvention. PBC the car, Cocoa the car. I don't. Now mine no shiny mine. She can't so many be a market, abani away. Or the private person because abandon paying 4% quick home, we quick home. That is not how to run a country. In Africa, because of bad leaders, bad leadership. Away for Africa. Our leaders are not God fearing. And yes, one them consider Bekono. Anya munyina ye danyina anya no. You should be proactive and reasonable.
Because out on you.
Ameto. You should be proactive and reasonable. I'm not saying we are see kona nimpa. We are say and advert cause so broke we are say babia. And then there's competition. Then electricity subvention. Way subvention. Great power authority generate a human sika. May you have 3 cases for from compensation. Won't be a capre. What the cocoa to na case bebre no great power authority woman or ways and means. They have their own ways and means. Kobana na hini piano when you capre. Aba aye. Because the baby before you give me a work class, you give me a Mratako Nippon Betio. I am not preaching violence, but I'm being truthful. So 1D, 1F, or more Chamuno, and Professor Coco as an article that yeah, also be your the year, and you Ghana the year.
20 minutes after 8, I want to me 1013. Want to me radio Suni and I want to me TV. Lawyer Nana Obiri Boahen. I'm not trusting. This is the state of Ghana. Every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yes, sorry. Na want to me nationwide sports no aba. Ya din komo e dia fa Ghana's abstention wo UN.
One gave for be an best ban.
Go feel man independence square.
So let's be very honest to ourselves. What would tell me? Say ya people for pencil, na kufa do war power. Na gave for me and coffee or manwa. And Ghana dey na si by now.
Okay, today no home come just gone by 1D 1F cancellation trade minister record to Mashabajafu enim na yabo home come national Thanksgiving and the national cathedral and so yabo home come next on the discussion table no yanko engineers and planners and Azuma resources on the black voter gold bed worth 52 trillion Ghana cedis 1.4 million ounces gold deposit home come and April 24th April 14th and ora ato force in board of governors Emma ECOWAS Bank and what granted $100 million facility Ediama ENP say omufa enkoye this black voter gold belt project no Azuma resources for say omoja pade no omunane ma ENP for no enti they were shocked say that celebration memorandum of understanding I sign a contractual one when cameras is so na Minister of Lands and Natural Resources declared almost 7 days. It should resolve their disagreement or he steps in. Lawyer Nana Obiri Boahen.
Ibrahim is a friend. But let me very on as a friend, Minkona Jumamuda, or no Mama Jumamuda. Minkoni Fida.
Nani my young fan Mofana say.
Oh, so Menisha, or no, you'll be out of Plimpa in the airport.
Okay.
Airport na metani Nishia. Minkon fee, Minkon office, Minkon also Mammy fee. But only Ibrahim Mahama Shiana on no Kasa. The demeanor and the body language, I feel comfortable in what you say. Whether it's MPP in power or NDC, Menano Kasa to say Yonko, Adam for, and we discuss issues, you know. Until Adam for Fano, airport on once a while when we meet at the airport. The community in Canada, Madame for Mincon office that Mincon fear the only influence airport in here. So, maybe people should not look at it say, oh, you are defending Ibrahim Mahama. But no, I want to be fair in this. Then we need to be fair. Engineers and planners is a legal entity. Ibrahim Mahama is a legal entity. But Niama abani nyina ne kasa abani nyina no President Mahama ne ndisi for na masansi ngwe nyina abba ni abani nyina President Mahama. But no, the advice I'm giving to President Mahama and other politicians in Africa say semre bia mo kasa no mo kan bibia onya daje. You don't play to the gallery. You don't play to the gallery. Benkum nifa enye anonimwa enkawe. What is the, with due respect, what is the big deal about this? Why? Sam Jonah as a Ghanaian has a mining firm in South Africa. Na Japadie ne beton Ghana ne beton na machimfo nye na chimfo pesika na by champon plus auto hosted hotels me. And there we go again. Yeah, wo I can fuck you for nyamin tia beka beton nyama na be ho one can say a chimney president ni kwani ekopato akanfo nyamin tia beka be toto nyama no benkum nifa nanamwa koye campaign ya to aba, and people use all these things including okujata black. And people stood firm. They make us say, look, now our company no, our position to peer. Brian Champon bought Cathedral Rest House for $4 million US. No, yeah, $3 million. What yaka? At the hotel bank, and now casa wo tonwa. Now Brian Champon casa tonto. But you know, a state hotels ye ton. I could find the president. Brian Champon ya kani kwani. Oh, California come from the year, but ye ready. And the same scenario. If you look at the engineers and planners response no, one more the delegate second page, you know. Okay, I think so. What's engineers and planners in Yabone?
It's now from Sobena Hansol Mining 2013 no ye.
What was my means I say?
To me, Hansol Mining 2013 because basically maintain any justification by the former NDC administration. Emma ene Ibrahim Mahama etimi didi won't be who despite air launching the automobile museum no Kujao said this is real money when you excavators to that extent.
Yeah, so the President Mahama and NDC for no problems no more.
What was the justification?
There's no justification.
And today power changes. What's the quantum mining? So Nippon was revoking the license. No, what's also illegal mining.
And you know, If the man is in the forest,
and you come and tell me, say, engineers and brothers, oh my, I will not buy this.
If the man is in the forest, take note that there's LI 2462.
A permitted mining in forest.
In forest.
And there's evidence, man, I know for a fact, when they went to Akunta mining site, the drone a quarry. And to mutual video, it captured about 18,000 coconut trees went to near our site so because it captured no want to be show.
So you see the kind of problem we are facing.
Come be a yet man was so and no reclaim land no edian kubene e ma.
You see the problem we are facing in this country. And you know they knock us ethnocentric politics. Ethnocentric.
Now we are the man drew near so say Ghana need me only.
And now Asankra can say, oh, so when you crowd, you say on the own piece can find your share. And say, when you know piece can your share, you know what fascinating. So the problem my friend Ibrahim is going through, and this for any new John Mahama. No, my critics are problems in Ghana. And I was expecting President Mahama because oh, I am sorry. From Insembi Amekaye, I am sorry from Nimabi Amiye. Just expecting him to say, I am sorry. Look at the response. And you see, so, engineers and planners here, a mining company or more a year. Now, even one case now, the Kurano, I'm told, sir, there's a halt. So it means that it looks like so if Ibrahim's company engineers and planners own asase kesiye sikakoko kesia you say Ibrahim nukrano waye boni but problem na abani nyina for President Mahama and his NDC
so if the Minister of Lands and Natural acknowledge there is a feud between engineers and planners and Azuma I also must settle ansana San take over na yadwuma what so granted is 100 million.
They didn't do serious homework because the minister need a serious homework na nke so ma wo settle wie ansa na mode eyinu nyina eye se mo ye no fie wa wo nem pesa me kire no e se mo ye no fie it means there's something hanging on now. Or say mama wom de minister in what capacity are the dates nabi ama wom problem na ye wo man problem no so and no it's apart from intellectual problem no ethnocentric politics because you know that perception one perception say a bit free ethnic group will be there. Say your town state property amano enye ebi so dey free another ethnic group there on the onya eye and it is a serious thing for us and both the NPP and the NDC our parliamentarians our who say ya no ye nam baby bia toro ye nam no toro say Ebinuma recommended say Yanton State Hotels in be my branch ampon. Yan corner man from Kobe, the no ye high be the Yanton Manua. No could you tell me by a press conference or press conferences. Now say I got on that mine ama engineers and planners, and I say Azuma ye the engineers planners. Could you tell black one me some job mama sa problem number. Musuma in India for a crutch for. So you should have not been involved in this kind of this Paleolithic age politics. Yeah, the problem we are facing this country now. I remember in 1992.
Come na bedu amane ne say yemfie na yo say yemfie nwatwiu na bompaya say aban sesan yemabrio no ebeto what you are going through you also do same.
I remember in 1992 na jamsere ebi na ebi mu ye akunta besi fam ya GMI you know 1992 was just na ne yire
Kumedo Ajime.
Yeah, also one of the respected characters on the power masempa na ofri ejureti antino akunta besi fam ya GMI and it looks like oh akuntabesi fair here for na man yamodia MPP for, but that was wrong. Such comments, that was wrong, because even before Ashanti became protectorate, you know, na Angola was part. Angola kura de ni abrofo no dinsa wo so kura. So okay say ebinum ya hoho a no in the legal sense no Angola so no kura yeah part of parcel of Ghana, Gold Coast and San Ashanti.
I'm
not going to steal your money. And that's exactly what's happening. You know, he can go to, you know, and that's why he says, I'm too old to be corrupt. I'm not going to steal your money. Because you knew, and that's exactly what's...
And dear, and me share channel below see YouTube channel no ebinum basa bloggers and ebinum yekinko and mo fa Mortal Kombat bi. No say Mortal Kombat game no. Bono. Hawa Koomson, Hawa papa no isi ko ne chodinity say no. Ena omokofa Mortal Kombat no. The way I want say ya no ye sing unze timukwa no ko straight no apim nipa no so wo abobi da no wonim de ne making. And draw modi shishim e ma ne fa level papa ne ko ne chito no ho di heady Hawa Koomson no na Mortal Kombat no so toys nso di to so yeah masa bloggers ni serious. Ghana, you can't be sad. Ghana, a whole comedy channel and yankupon or share or heaven. You can't be cranky at onion serious because or shall see a go for who has said me we no dear. Me serious, I mean, because I'm missing me hokakra. And my main show mokakra. And I is a worship movie our kumape. Now I'm busy moving business. Ana Ghana. Agoro Dawson, Sebi Jimmy so Dawson, and in Sim so Dawson. I didn't want Ghana. Me, I am a home. And the politics, our my way any ye da. Ye the politics, or my way any ye da. Say as a sense to buy Agamba Kai, Agamba Coco. I say, and Dramas on Diana Ghana is a heaven. I say, Piakai, I am gonna know who you know. Ghana, yeah, the politics so many. Nanke siden ena babasia etimi pepe spray. Se me di gu obi ani, me di gu police ni ani. Aden na asat now di nyanchi no. Di nyanchi no o klemu se omo abono. Miwa no di onyaye no eye atufo eden omo bo. Ai wosen ko mo hihye no. Kabana na okonya ni tia munchim. Anye ni sen kandra no ne nam hwa wa finish no. You see, this is the time. It's about the time we have to sit down and speak truth to power. It's about the time. It's about the time we have to sit down and speak truth to power, because dear Sebi politicians amodi o my way fashion enye politics intino mo kubi ya and was a young coupon for conim enanka the prayer of more call Hawa Koomson see Hawa Koomson di pepe spray go money and so a twin to honum na pay Akadini bisi me sure pass and Hawa Koomson na oyempia and ko be butu or go no so besia tutu but yankopon hoyi onye ni bibi ko yankopon enye ni bibi kwa eti andra because of the Hawa Koomson enye mpia na aban eni power ntino oni so twitu ho no manye hwe omodi ni betum kakra into so obeda prison so obeda source so obeda counterback enti andra one for two anko fa pepper spray because say pepper spray de onye den a ebi omu be chi no kwa bi a fine bi no be fine danka adwempo ben na Hawa Koomson e so de ya o de fast pepper spray ni mi bi say adwempo ben na ma we no fine e de adwen ben no nyae adwen ben no nyae. Okay, she say ye na ye ko adwabo ase tie miye pacho mu tie mi ina yɛkɔ adwabɔ ase yɛyɛ nipa mmiɛnsa yɛkɔ adwabɔ ase na me mafa me ho kama madresse mafa me mobile phone mafa me handkerchief mafa me wallet na the other one is why yes pepepe the last one no na wadresse wafa sekamba sharp knife de ahyɛ ne ho wafa tuo de ahyɛ ne ho wafa ade foforɔ weapon de ahyɛ ne ho bibisa ne sɛ masa saa de yɛ ade ko de kɔ ede enti hona ubehu sɛ adwene wɔ ne tim no ɛnyɛ adwen papa enti ɔde saa de ne kɔ because nim sɛ ɔnyɛ de nya ɔkɔ bɛkɔ akɔkɔɔse na ɔkɔɔse nso a obɛdefend ne ho enti endo yɛmbisa maame Hawa Koomson ade korodeɛ bɛn nti ɔde saa pepper spray ne ɛhyɛ ne ho ekura police station center hɔ and even was it necessary sɛ wɔsɛ na ɔkɔ police center hɔ no mana police station hɔ no was it necessary ɔne ne boys was it necessary enti sɛ ɔwɔ adwen papa endo maame ha na bisi uba no na boys bia ni hɔ a mo agye mi di n'akyi o endo a sie dun katia ba hɔ no na nkɔfo bia ni hɔ mo agye mi di n'akyi o because adwen papa de ne tiri mfanche me endo a yewura MPA boss adwudi temakuro oba honum no now there is no boys and I said there are no boys and there were no boys na omo eden omo edinichi omo jimi omo body all in the name of protection no because onim se okono onkita ejan saa nso na okono nkoye obi abone na wakoyende wakota ne do but Hawa Koomson enim se ono do ye troublesome or ye trouble causer enti no what the pepper spray ashe no obi kura ni nobody knows say na nkatu hye no obi ani say tuo kura esan hye no a senkendo a anyanya adwen bi ena Nyankopon na okire ni nyansa sade a oyi ene nkwa memo wasu nyansa ena nkodi tu hye no ka ba the time omu pushi ni tu ho no tu no kroko ye na otu yanko no am obeti ni no da so mando ite dinche yesa edinche Ghana politics ya mana kwese ntokwa disagreement uni party we ya me see 19 police station krani wo na yebekwa kwatia de hey yebekwa akwatia a whole constituency and that constituency no krano na ndc for problem with it. That is why a court ekachire akwatia MPA wawu sisi nyame ato nsa afre no wura enest kumi ya okumi se ontwen ma onko sori ni bi a ono nso na so odin se bi ipa wu ayembo nachi Ghana sanity Ghana kwa nipa wu ayembo nachi a ono nso okoye omokoso ewi achi court ehwehwe na yehu de bi sa case ni kosi ya ene odi eda mortuary. You see, very sad. Nipa wiye nyefe. But yeti asase so a ye bibia nipa wiye enyefe. Nipa wiye nyefe. Enest kumi bisa se owu ye na tade o hye no. Omodi ne kwhye mogo no kwa na ombetete. Enti akwatia the whole constituency wajana ho eko. Waja seat in parliament no eko. Wajan V8 na ni abres opeso be member of parliament no unya no wajan ho eko allowances ana ni abres opeso be member of parliament no unya no wajan ho eko eti ni pe den na Hawa Koomson oye ho sa after all your ba empefo bu bebi se oba de otonya adwa onton to duro si den na Hawa Koomson okoto to yi pepper spray emia manigu police ni eni and do big police ni na oyi say can you imagine and nti on do mo bona police for ni yo money say no yam manu e be mo brim no because na so edi because onye ni papa adwum bone woni tirim hai udi pepes the police for kra na mo authority no were they holding guns there because no money say anya akon e no mo ko na mom e abato e no mo ko no say abato no mo ko. But because of say Hawa Koomson oba wadwen hye otirim po nyina ne say wo be kontokwa otirim po nyina say wo be cause chaos wo be cause violence enti no wa prepare ho na wo ba akopon so de odum di oye o prepare ho the mindset now the fifie no okọ ene ohwehwe no onsa so den ekae eti meti se obi ti social media na aka Hawa Koomson no NDC for abono NDC for the share for masa emisa se den ne kodu sa empa ifo bu be se bibia nkoka popa a wanje yede de bibia nkoka popa a yede de Hawa Koomson den eno kopie honom den eno ko yi pepper spray den no mobo no eti abusafo sa na asem niti amefa wusi hanom you number one authentic platform Mega TV edi egusu ayen kasa na ndo police Adentan police commander Adentan police commander owura ye frɛ no officer Lumo so in fact omami ye very disappointed pa uyu nsafi journalist asum Aden police commander sa na etete o Adentan police commander Commander Lumo ade a woyɛ no disgraceful to your personality we your commander eti Ghana police owura no o se mworo na tade montwa mo bi nka be kanche mo IGP ehonu tete ehonu mworo na tade no hu se de woyɛ no nsɛm hu no sebi kire wadwe conversation ni makra baba